Hey, what's up everybody? Selvin from Inquire here, and I'm going to show you how to read your award letter. Thanks for joining us. We're super excited to kick off our Real College Advice video series where we give some tips on topics that we found that students and parents have some difficulty understanding. But don't worry, we've been on both sides of the coin, so we're going to break down everything step by step. So we'd love for you to let us know what you think by liking the video and dropping a comment. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you know when the next video is coming out. Now, whether you're getting back on the campus or if you're starting college for the first time, reading your award letter can be a huge order. There's a lot of numbers everywhere. The breakdowns can be confusing. If you have questions, you don't know who to contact between financial aid and student accounts or the bursar's office, there's just a lot going on. So we're going to break this down into 5 easy steps and send you on your way. So now before we get into the steps, your school might call the award letter a financial aid notification. These two are basically the same. We're not doing anything different in that regard. And your school might list everything for 1 year or everything for 1 term. So we're going to get into that a little bit later. So the first step is knowing your direct costs versus your indirect costs. The financial aid has a funny name of calling all the costs that you're going to probably have over the course of the year, and that's your cost of attendance. So if you do see that, you might see a bunch of different lines that have a bunch of different costs. So to break that down, that's going to be your direct costs as well as your indirect costs. So let's actually look at the indirect first. So your indirect costs are different things that your financial aid office is estimating that you will incur during the year. So these can be things like books, transportation, personal expenses, just different things like that. You're not going to actually see this on your bill. They just want you to be aware of these different things that you may incur throughout the year. So don't worry about these things actually being on your bill. Now, your direct costs, these are the things that your school is actually billing you for. So you're going to see these different line items on the actual bill. So things like tuition, room and board, and fees. These are the typical things that you're going to see. So these are the ones that you want to pay attention to when we then start to consider your actual aid. Still with me? All right, let's keep going. So what we're going to actually do, we're going to actually have a little bit of an example. So let's say that your tuition for the year is $20,000, your fees are $1,000, and room and board is $4,000. Typically, they're not going to be that low, but let's use that for the example. So now you're looking at a total cost for the year of $25,000 or $12,500 per semester. So now if you're on a trimester system or a quarter system, you're then going to divide that large number by 3 or 4. Step number 2, how to calculate your cost. So this might be an easy step, but we want to give you a quick formula to really break it down. So when it comes to the question, so what do I owe? You want to take the school costs, subtract your financial aid, and then you'll have your out-of-pocket costs. So this is what you're going to owe or what you're going to have to pay out of pocket. And it might be also good to break down where these numbers are coming from. So the costs are coming from your bursar or student account. So this is the office that's actually charging you. And then your financial aid is simply coming from your financial aid office. So one office is giving you the money, the other one is taking it away. So that's a pretty simple way to break that down. Step number 3, breaking down your cost for the year versus the cost per term. So generally, your school is going to list all of your costs and all of your financial aid for the entire year. So if we go back to the example of having $25,000 of direct costs for the school year, now let's say that your financial aid comes up to $15,000 for the year. So if we go back to that equation, we're taking the difference between the costs and the financial aid and getting $10,000. So that's what you're going to owe for the year. And then if you're on that semester basis, and that's $5,000 per semester. So what you don't want to do is break down one number and not break down the other. You just want to make sure that you're consistent every time. So you don't want to break down your costs for the year, for example, but not break down your aid. So let's say that you break down your cost for the year to $12,500 per semester, but you don't break down that $15,000 that you owed for the year. So now it looks like you actually have more aid than your charges, and you're going to actually get some money back when in turn you actually are going to owe money. So you definitely don't want to mix those two up. So bottom line, break down your costs and break down your aid. So we're 3 steps in now, and at this point you probably have a really good understanding of how these numbers actually work. Now these last 2 steps are just basically the action that you take from the understanding. So we're going to go into step 4, which is basically accepting your financial aid. So at this point you're going to actually want to pull up your student portal, whatever that looks like, and check out the financial aid site where it actually shows you the breakdown of the aid that you've been offered. The bottom line is you want to make sure that you accept everything that you want, whether that's grants, scholarships, and even if you decide to accept loans. You just want to make sure you accept everything and move forward with the final step. But before we get there, let's break down the 2 different ways that your schools might actually have it set up for you to accept your aid. So your schools might fall into one of 2 buckets. The first one is your school might actually automatically accept your gift aid. So this is scholarships, your grants. They might automatically accept that for you, thinking that, hey, this is free money, you're probably going to want this, so let's just get that step out the way for you. So that's one. So the other bucket is your school might actually make you make those decisions on all the aid that you've been offered. So they're not going to assume that you want the grants and scholarships. You're going to have to go in and make those decisions yourself. So you want to make that distinction whether you're in school 1 or in school 2. So just have that clear before you actually go in and make those decisions. And now finally with step 5, paying the difference. So once you've made all of those decisions, which was an important step because this allows the student accounts or the bursar office, the office that's actually charging you, they're going to be able to see all of that and then be able to tell you, okay, this is how much you owe because we know you've accepted all of this aid. At this point, then they can tell you all the different payment options that you have, whether that's paying everything in full for that term, setting up a payment plan, whatever those options are, they're going to be able to tell you all that. So again, you want to make sure you have that last step done so that they can give you the most accurate information. And the sooner the better, because you don't want to lose out on some of those different payment options because you waited a little bit too long to accept something. So if you haven't done step 4, make sure you go ahead and do that as soon as you can, especially if your school has some deadlines on those different payment options. And that's it. That is how to read your award letters. So thanks for watching this video. We hope you found it helpful. And if you did, please be sure to like the video just so that we can make sure we spread this information out more. If you have any questions about anything that we broke down in this video, or if there's a topic that you want us to talk about in the future, be sure to drop a comment below. And we're looking to make more of these videos, so we would definitely love and appreciate your feedback. So again, this is Selvin from Inquire. Until next time, peace.